The crystal glasses clinked at Dad's retirement party as executives from Anderson Technologies celebrated their CEO's legendary leadership. I sat quietly at the back table, checking my encrypted phone while my sister Jennifer worked the room in her CFO power suit. My latest notification made me smile. Markets closing. Final purchase complete. And here's my younger daughter. Dad's voice boomed as he approached with board members. Still tinkering with that little software company. What do you call it again? Quantum Edge, I replied, watching the stock ticker on my phone climb higher. Jennifer swooped in, champagne in hand. At least she's persistent, Daddy. Not everyone can run a Fortune 500 company like us. My phone buzzed. Bloomberg requesting immediate comment on acquisition. Speaking of Fortune 500, I stood slowly, straightening my simple black dress. How's the Anderson Tech stock performing today? Up 2%, Jennifer bragged. My financial strategy. Check again, I suggested. The room's television screens meant to display Dad's career highlights suddenly switched to breaking news. The Bloomberg ticker told a different story. Breaking. Quantum Edge acquires Anderson Technologies in historic $47 billion deal. Dad's champagne glass froze halfway to his mouth. Jennifer's designer clutch hit the floor. That's impossible, she whispered. We'd know if someone was buying us out. Would you? I pulled out my tablet displaying ownership records. Or were you too busy mocking my little software company to notice who was buying your shares? But you run a small startup, Dad stammered. I run the company that just revolutionized quantum computing, I corrected. While you were calling me persistent, I was becoming your largest shareholder. My phone lit up with another message. Executive transition team in position. Ladies and gentlemen, I addressed the stunned room, consider this Dad's real retirement party. And Jennifer. I smiled at my sister. You might want to update your resume. The new board has some concerns about your financial strategy. The room erupted in whispers as board members frantically checked their phones. Jennifer's perfectly manicured hands shook as she pulled up stock alerts. This is a joke, she insisted, her voice cracking. Some kind of glitch. Like the glitch when you rejected my partnership proposal last year? I moved toward the main screen, where my company's acquisition details were now displayed. The one you said wasn't worth your time to review. Dad sank into his leather chair, his retirement speech cards scattered across the table. But you work from that small office downtown. That small office is the front for a quantum computing empire, I replied, pulling up more data on the screens. Every time you bragged about Jennifer's corner suite, I was acquiring another block of Anderson shares. While you were planning this retirement party, I was planning a corporate takeover. The doors opened as my executive team entered. Young, brilliant minds I'd recruited while Anderson stuck to their old boys network. Meet your new management, I announced. They've been analyzing Anderson's operations for months. Did you know your quantum division is 3 years behind current technology? That your software platform has critical vulnerabilities? Jennifer's face went pale. I would have seen that in the financials. Would you? I pulled up internal reports. Like you saw the shell companies buying up Anderson stock? Or the quantum patents we filed while you dismissed us as that little tech startup? My phone buzzed again. SEC filing complete. Ownership transfer confirmed. Check your emails, I told the board members. You'll find detailed transition plans. Those who adapt can stay. Those who share my family's outdated perspectives might want to explore other opportunities. Dad finally found his voice. You can't just walk in and take my company. Your company? I smiled, displaying the ownership records. I've owned controlling interest for 6 months. Every decision you made, every promotion Jennifer celebrated, every policy you implemented, all had my silent approval. The caterers entered with fresh champagne, now bearing Quantum Edge logos. Time for the real celebration. By the way, I added, picking up a glass, that partnership proposal you rejected? It would have given you 30% of Quantum Edge. Today's value. I turned to Jennifer, the numbers expert. Care to calculate your mistake? She slumped in her chair as the math hit her. Billions. They had lost billions. My phone lit up with another Bloomberg alert. Quantum Edge CEO reveals revolutionary computing platform post-acquisition. Don't worry about your retirement, Dad, I said softly. Your shares are safe. But from now on they come with a different name on top. Mine. Sometimes success isn't measured in corner offices or retirement parties. Sometimes it's measured in the silence that falls when they finally realize who's really been in charge all along. The morning after the takeover, I sat in Dad's former office, now my secondary headquarters, watching the business world explode with the news. Every financial channel blazed with headlines. Quantum Edge, the stealth giant that revolutionized computing. Anderson Technologies' acquisition sends tech stocks soaring. Young CEO's brilliant deception. How she bought her family's company. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the announcement. 53 missed calls from Jennifer. 38 from Dad. Countless messages from executives who'd dismissed me at company parties over the years. My chief of operations, Sarah, entered with the morning briefing. The market's up 300 points on the news. And, she smirked, Jennifer's been in the lobby since 6 a.m. Says it's her birthright to be part of the transition team. How quickly birthright matters when the hierarchy shifts, I mused, signing the latest quantum patent applications. The security feed showed Jennifer pacing the lobby, her designer heels wearing a pattern in the marble floor. Her perfect corporate armor was cracking, hair slightly disheveled, makeup showing signs of a sleepless night. Ms. Chin, my assistant's voice crackled over the intercom, your parents are insisting on a meeting. They've brought the company bylaws. Those bylaws. I smiled, pulling up the digital copies I'd rewritten months ago. Send them up. Time to explain how real corporate governance works. Mom burst in first, clutching her Hermes bag like a shield. Dad followed, his retirement glory faded into confusion and anger. Elizabeth, Mom started, using my full name like I was still 16. This is unnecessary. We can discuss this as a family. Family. I turned my screens to show Anderson's internal records. Like when Dad denied promotions to qualified engineers because they didn't come from good families. Or when Jennifer canceled our quantum research because it didn't fit her quarterly projections. That research was unproven, Jennifer snapped, having finally gained access to the executive floor. Unproven. I pulled up Quantum Edge's patent portfolio. While you were cutting our R&D budget, I was building this. Every innovation you rejected, we developed them independently. That small office downtown holds more computing power than all of Anderson's data centers combined. Dad stepped forward, businessman instincts kicking in. We can negotiate. Like you negotiated with my team when they proposed the merger last year? I played the recording of that meeting. His dismissive voice filled the room. Come back when you're running a real company, not a hobby. Jennifer's face went pale as she recognized her own laughter in the background. Well, I gestured to the empire around us. Is this real enough for you? My phone lit up with another alert. Quantum Edge platform processes first government defense contract, $12 billion deal confirmed. You let us think. Mom's voice trailed off. I let you think exactly what you wanted to think, I finished. It was easier than fighting your assumptions. Besides, I displayed our stock trajectory. Your underestimation made acquiring Anderson much more affordable. Jennifer sank into a visitor's chair, her CFO confidence shattered. All those board meetings, the strategy sessions, you knew everything we were planning. Every merger you blocked, every startup you dismissed, every innovative engineer you drove away, I confirmed. They all found a home at Quantum Edge. Turns out talent matters more than family connections. My phone buzzed. NASA partnership announcement ready for release. Now, I stood, smoothing my now designer dress. I have a company to run. 2 companies, actually. Sarah will show you out. I turned to Jennifer. Human Resources will contact you about your role in the new organization. If there is one. If, she sputtered. I'm the CFO. We're the CFO, I corrected. The board, my board now, has some concerns about your financial oversight. Specifically, how you missed a competitor acquiring controlling interest in your own company. As they left, shell-shocked and silent, I watched Anderson's old logo being replaced with Quantum Edge's branding on the building's facade. Your corner office is being converted to our quantum research lab, I added, watching Jennifer's face contort. Those city views you bragged about will inspire actual innovation now, not just social media posts. My phone lit up with another series of updates. Market cap reaches $200 billion post-merger. Tech analysts predict 500% growth potential. Former Anderson board members requesting emergency meetings. Dad found his voice again, years of corporate authority trying to reassert itself. The other shareholders won't stand for this. We have allies. Had allies, I corrected, pulling up the shareholder registry. Check the voting blocks. Every major institutional investor backed my takeover. Turns out quantum computing patents are more persuasive than country club memberships. Jennifer reached for the financial reports scattered across what used to be her father's desk. These projections, they're impossible. Our quantum division wasn't anywhere near this level. Your quantum division wasn't, I agreed. But Quantum Edge has been light years ahead for months. Remember that cute little prototype you rejected last spring? It's now powering the NSA's encryption protocols. The screens around us displayed real-time data from our quantum networks, processing power that made Anderson's best systems look like pocket calculators. While you were holding leadership retreats at five-star resorts, I continued, my team was revolutionizing computational physics. That small office downtown you mocked? It's the front for a quantum computing complex larger than Google's. Mom clutched her designer bag tighter, social instincts kicking in. We can present this as a merger of equals. Save face at the club. Save face. I laughed softly. Like you saved my face when you told the board I was just going through a tech phase? Or when Jennifer announced that real executives don't code. The security feeds showed more former Anderson executives arriving, their careers suddenly dependent on my decisions. Here's what happens next, I stated, pulling up the transition plan. Dad, your retirement package is safe. I'm not vindictive. But your board seats at other companies? Those need to be discussed. He slumped further, understanding the full scope of the power shift. Jennifer, I turned to my sister. You have two options. You can reapply for a position in our financial division, starting at junior level, no shortcuts. Or you can take your golden parachute and explore opportunities elsewhere. Though, I checked my phone. Your reputation as the CFO who missed a hostile takeover might make job hunting challenging. Junior level? She whispered, horror crossing her perfectly made-up face. I have an MBA from where Dad sits on the board, yes, I cut in. But Quantum Edge promotes based on merit, not memberships. My phone buzzed again. Pentagon requesting quantum computing demonstration. Joint Chiefs standing by. Now, I stood, gesturing to the door. I have a defense contract to secure. Sarah will handle your paperwork. Oh, and Jennifer, the executive parking space you love, is being converted to a quantum cooling station. You can use the public garage like everyone else. As they filed out, broken and bewildered, I called after them. The annual family dinner next week? It's now a board meeting. Black tie optional, but coding skills required. The door closed on their stunned faces as I turned back to my empire. Two companies merged into one technological giant, built while they were too busy mocking my little startup to notice their own obsolescence. 1 month after the acquisition, I stood in Anderson's transformed headquarters, now the East Coast hub of Quantum Edge's global operations. The old oil paintings of past CEOs had been replaced with interactive quantum displays, each showing real-time computations that were reshaping the tech world. My phone buzzed with the morning updates. Stock hits new record, $3,750 per share. EU approves quantum network expansion. Jennifer Carter, 6th interview request this week. Dad, 3rd attempt to access executive floor. Sarah entered with the quarterly reports. The old Anderson board members are in the lobby again. They've brought their lawyers this time. Let them wait, I replied, watching our quantum systems process more data in a second than Anderson had in its entire history. They should get used to not being in charge. The security feed showed Jennifer pacing the public reception area, her designer wardrobe notably less pristine than a month ago. She'd been trying to schedule a meeting every day since the takeover, alternating between threats and pleas. Ms. Chin, my assistant's voice crackled, your father's on his way up. He used his old security codes. Codes that no longer work. I smiled, watching Dad's frustrated expression on the security camera as his elevator stopped at the lobby. Amazing how long it takes some people to accept change. The markets were opening and every screen showed Quantum Edge's dominance. Anderson's old stock ticker symbol had been absorbed, just like their company culture. Time for the all-hands meeting, I told Sarah. Let's show them what real innovation looks like. The main auditorium was packed, Anderson's old guard mixed with my quantum pioneers. The contrast was striking. Conservative suits versus brilliant minds in casual wear, all watching as I took the stage. 1 month ago, I began, many of you thought you knew what this company was. Some, I glanced at Jennifer in the back row, thought they knew who deserved to lead it. The screens showed our progress since the merger. Quantum power up 800%. Market value tripled. 147 patents filed. Global network 60% done. Today, I said, we start the next phase. The Anderson executives who mocked us will enjoy this. The screen shifted to our new project. Jennifer gasped. That prototype she rejected last year? It just killed traditional computing. Dad stood up. You can't erase decades of. Actually, we can, I cut in. Check your phones. Gasp spread. Every device now ran on Quantum Edge OS. While you chased titles, we rebuilt the digital world, I said. That small office downtown? It was a revolution waiting. Breaking news flashed. Quantum Edge OS becomes global standard. Here's the truth. Titles don't matter. Innovation does. Jennifer, your MBA means less than your code. Dad, your connections mean nothing without skills. The screen showed our flat, merit-based structure. Success isn't inherited. It's earned. Kids won't take your jobs. Golf clubs won't decide hires. Jennifer's hands tightened around her old phone as her privilege crumbled. Oh, and that retreat in the Hamptons? I added. It's now a coding boot camp. Mandatory for leaders. Outside, the Anderson logo came down. Quantum Edge's symbol lit up in its place. Sometimes revenge isn't replacing the boss. It's changing the whole game.